In December 2023, Shohei Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. At the time, it was the largest guaranteed total announced for a free agent in major North American sports. But that number is not the most extraordinary part of his story. Money can price fame, production, and global attention. It cannot explain how one athlete forced a sport built on specialization to reconsider what one player could be. Ohtani has thrown a pitch measured at 102 miles per hour in international competition. StatCast has recorded one of his batted balls at 119.2. Those numbers belong to opposite ends of baseball's physical spectrum. One asks the body to accelerate a ball with the arm. The other asks it to redirect elite velocity with a bat. Most careers are built around mastering one. Ohtani made both part of the same job description. The real system behind that result is more impressive than the mythology. Modern baseball divides labor with ruthless efficiency. Pitchers protect their arms, follow tightly managed routines, and prepare for specific workloads. Position players build a different calendar around daily hitting, defense, and recovery. The designated hitter rule widened that separation. Two-way baseball did not disappear because nobody had imagination. It disappeared because the season is long, elite velocity is unforgiving, and each role consumes almost every hour a professional athlete can give it. As a teenager, Ohtani used a 9x9 goal chart. The center held his main target. Around it were the supporting systems: stronger body, sharper control, better breaking pitches, mental strength, and even habits that had nothing to do with a radar gun. One square said to pick up trash, an act he associated with collecting the luck other people discarded. The chart matters because it reveals his core idea early. A historic outcome had to be engineered from ordinary, repeatable actions. Ohtani wanted to enter Major League Baseball straight from high school. The Hokkaido-Nipponham fighters offered a different path. They would develop him as both a pitcher and a hitter instead of forcing an early choice. That decision created a real laboratory. Starts on the mound, at-bats between starts, recovery days, strength work, and constant adjustments all had to fit one calendar. The two-way player was not improvised after he became famous. It was the development plan from the beginning. When Ohtani moved to the Angels after the 2017 season, he was under 25. International signing rules limited him to a bonus of roughly $2.3 million, far below what an unrestricted star could command. Estimates of exactly how much he left on the table vary, so the honest conclusion is simpler. He chose the major leagues before maximizing his first contract. The experiment mattered enough that he accepted financial limits to start it sooner. At the plate, Ohtani's power is easy to mistake for arm strength. Slow the motion down and the sequence is clearer. His lower half creates force against the ground. The pelvis begins to rotate while the upper body remains closed for a fraction longer. That separation stores rotational energy. Then the torso, hands, and bat accelerate through the zone in order. The arms finish the chain. They do not begin it. That is why the swing can look controlled and still produce violent contact. StatCast gives us a result that does not depend on adjectives. In April 2024, Ohtani lined a ball at 119.2 miles per hour, the hardest hit ball of his major league career at that point. Exit velocity measures the ball after contact, not the beauty of the swing. It captures how efficiently bat speed, contact quality, pitch speed, and impact location came together. The number is not a secret technique. It is a receipt for the entire sequence working at once. On the mound, the order changes, but the principle survives. Momentum moves down the slope. The front side stabilizes. The trunk rotates, and the arm delivers the ball after the larger body segments have created speed. In the 2023 World Baseball Classic, Ohtani reached 102 miles per hour, the fastest pitch publicly recorded in his career. Velocity gets the headline, but elite pitching also requires command, changing speed, and making different pitches look similar before they separate near the plate. The experiment did not escape biology. In 2018, damage to the ulnar collateral ligament in Ohtani's right elbow led to Tommy John surgery. He returned as a hitter in 2019, then had surgery on his left knee. The deeper engineering problem was recovery. A pitcher needs time after high-intensity throwing, while a hitter cannot disappear for 4 days. Rehabilitation had to preserve a major league bat while rebuilding a major league arm. Progress in one role could not quietly sabotage the other. Then came 2020. In the shortened season, Ohtani hit just 190. On the mound, 2 difficult appearances left him with a 37.80 earned run average across only 1 2/3 innings. There is no need to invent cruel television quotes or a secret breakdown. The public numbers already show the crisis. The two-way idea had lost its evidence. If the next version looked the same, the rational baseball decision would be to narrow his role and protect what still worked. The answer was not simply to work longer. The Angels and Ohtani changed how the system operated. In 2021, the team loosened restrictions that had separated pitching days from his offensive role and used the designated hitter rule more flexibly. His body was healthy enough to support the plan, and the schedule stopped treating each role as if the other did not exist. That distinction matters. Greatness was not rescued by motivation alone. It was rescued by a better operating model. In 2021, Ohtani became the first player selected to the All-Star game as both a pitcher and a position player. He started on the mound and led off as the American League designated hitter. By the end of the season, the old question, "Can this survive?" had been replaced by a new one. How valuable can one roster spot become? The Baseball Writers Association answered unanimously. Every first-place vote for American League Most Valuable Player went to Ohtani. His 2021 scorecard explains why. At the plate, 46 home runs, 100 runs, 26 stolen bases, and a .592 slugging percentage. On the mound, a 9-2 record, a .318 earned run average, and 156 strikeouts. Baseball Reference credited him with 9.1 wins above replacement. No single statistic perfectly captures a two-way player, but every framework faced the same problem. Ohtani was creating elite value through two channels that had rarely existed together. A historic season can be dismissed as a peak. Ohtani removed that escape route in 2023. He led the American League with 44 home runs, a .412 on-base percentage, a .654 slugging percentage, and a .1.066 OPS. As a pitcher, he went 10-5 with a .3.14 ERA and 167 strikeouts. He won another unanimous Most Valuable Player award and became the first player ever to receive multiple unanimous MVPs. The anomaly had become repeatable. Late in 2023, another elbow injury ended his pitching season and required a second major procedure. With the Dodgers in 2024, Ohtani would be a designated hitter only. That removed half of the identity that made him unique. It also created a clean test. If pitching had inflated the mythology around an otherwise ordinary hitter, a season without the mound would expose it. Instead, he found a different way to break the sport's assumptions. In 2024, Ohtani became the first player in Major League history to record 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in the same season. He finished with 54 homers and 59 steals, then won the National League MVP unanimously. Unable to pitch, he expanded the offensive ceiling until the replacement story became historic on its own. The season also ended with his first World Series title, a team achievement that years of extraordinary individual production had not delivered. Dodgers' contract also reveals how Ohtani thinks about systems. $680 million was deferred, reducing the agreement's present value to a little over $460 million under the league's calculation. The structure gave the club more near-term payroll room while preserving the headline total paid over time. It was not charity, and it was not a loophole invented for one player. It was a negotiated trade between present flexibility, future payments, competitive ambition, and the value of Ohtani's global audience. Ohtani did not prove that every gifted athlete should become a two-way player. His path required rare physical tools, organizational permission, flexible rules, careful workload design, and tolerance for injury risk. What he proved is narrower and more powerful. Specialization is a decision, not a law of nature. When a system is built around an unusual capability, instead of forcing that capability into an old job description, the ceiling can move. Baseball now has to evaluate possibilities it once dismissed before testing them. So the Ohtani anomaly is not one secret swing, one impossible schedule, or one motivational quote. It is a chain. A teenage plan kept two skills alive. A Japanese club protected the experiment. Mechanics turned size into usable force. Injuries exposed the cost. A redesigned workload created the 2021 breakthrough. Then 2023 and 2024 proved that the breakthrough was not an accident. The $700 million contract did not create the legend. It was the market arriving late to a system built over decades. Now choose the harder half to reproduce. Is it the pitcher who can reach 102 miles per hour, or the hitter who can send a ball back at 119.2? Write pitch or HIT in the comments and explain your answer. Subscribe to Prompted Done for sports stories rebuilt from verified evidence, licensed visuals, and original motion design. Because with Shohei Ohtani, The real facts do not need exaggeration. They already changed what baseball believes is possible.